All right. So you have passed your HRCI examination and you have received your score as well. How do you assess it? The way its exam score works, before I explain how we do that, the way HRCI exam works is you need to score a minimum of 500 within the 1 to 700 range in order to pass. So if you have a score below 500, you are failed, and the report will indicate that, which you'll receive right away if you're taking it at the testing center, which is Pearson VUE, or it will be emailed uh, if you have opted for remote testing. So approximately 72% of veterans needed to pass these exams. Note, the pass score might be different from other exams like SHRM, or therefore in this video, we'll be focusing on the HRCI exam only because two of the exams that I've taken so far is for HRCI. So just sharing, so I'm not misleading anybody. So my name is Sulav, PHR, ZPHR, and I'll be the host for today's session. So the preliminary exam report looks something like this. Which is also the final report, by the way, that is mailed. If you're testing at the group center, that is Pearson VUE, you'll receive it right away after the exam, as I did. Or if you opt for remote text testing, you'll be getting it on your email address that you use to sign up for the exam. So on the left, we can see professional and human resource exam score report. On the right, we can see GPHR score report. Now, from this report, we can tell that we have passed. Yeah, the exam results indicates that we have passed. The bar chart tells which functional areas we did really well and which functional areas we did not do well. However, it doesn't give us the percentage, or like your university examination, it doesn't give you the GPA or the percentage. So how much of the questions did we got right, or what percentage did we score on the overall examination? We do not know that from this report. Yeah, so we're going to calculate how to do that. For those of you, and we're going to use charts and Excel sheet. So for those of you who have not created charts, this will also be a tutorial video on how to do that. So moving on. First of all, we'll be cropping our score plot, yeah, because this will be used to compare against the chart that we will create. So this is the sample table that we'll be needing in order to extract the bar graph. We'll be using the exam content outline and the achieved percentage. These are the only two columns. And how to calculate achieved percentage? It's very simple. We'll be dividing our achieved score by the highest score, which is 100, and converting it into percentage. Yeah. Hope it makes sense. So now, those of you who have not taken this exam, you might be confused on what 25 is. On the strategy total human resource on the right corner, this row, that 25 represents the 25% of the total exam was focused on this particular functional areas. However, we'll not be using that to draw our bar graph. So, as I said, we'll be using the two columns. One is the functional areas, of course, and the other one is our achieved percentage. And we'll also be using our total, and later on I'll be telling you why. So, since we do not know how much percentage or what was our total score, we'll simply be starting off with 75. Yep. So in our Excel sheet, we'll be putting 75 in the column, which will look something like this. It will give us 75%. And so here's a demonstration. You'll be selecting the two columns, only those areas. You'll not be taking out an entire column, and you'll be selecting the clustered bar chart. You'll go to insert, you'll go to recommended charts, you'll select all charts, bar, and clustered bar. Hope it makes sense. Now, the bar chart will look something like this in the beginning. And on the bottom, you can see it's from 0 to 120%. That was the reason we converted our numbers into percentages, because we want from 0 to 100%. Yeah, we'll not be taking numbers because we'll not be taking 700, for example, as I've said before, from 500 to 700. No, because that will be very difficult to compare against the score report that we received. So Well, we eliminate this extra 20% because the exam, each of the functional areas, the max is only 100, yeah? So we'll be right-clicking on that part. We'll click on Format Access. And as you can see on the right, we will change 1.2 to 1.0. So that should take care of it. And we'll get our bar chart from 0 to 100%. Now, the next thing we'll do is we'll be aligning using line, which you can obtain from SIP option, yeah, on the Microsoft Excel. You go to Insert, you click Save, and you select line. And you'll be aligning the minimum and maximum. We'll only be using 0 to 100% for now. Make sense? So the report should look like this. All right. Now we'll work on manipulating the data, which is of all of our functional areas. We initially use 75, so we'll be using several numbers till it is in, because as you can see on the bar chart, it's still based on our old data, which I've written on the screen here. This is still at 75%. The bar chart below, which is the actual score that we received, is not at 75%. This is our actual report. So what we're going to do is we're going to manipulate the numbers as I've told you, and you don't have to start from 1 till 100. For example, in strategy global human resources, we can see it is at least 80 or better. So we're going to take a number from 80 till 85 till we can see that, okay, the numbers match up. So after certain calculations, since your graph chart is linked with your Excel sheet, the table that I've showed you earlier, which is this, your final bar chart will look like this. So in alignment, this is what it looks like. So you can use another line to make sure that, okay, so it is in alignment, yeah? So as I told you, initially we use functional areas and our hypothetical percentage score. That percentage score will be manipulated. We'll be changing it till it is in alignment, like we can see with the red line. So that our bar graph generated from our Excel sheet versus the actual report is in alignment. So this will give us an idea on how we did well percentage-wise on each of the functional areas. So here it goes for the GPHR. Now, we'll do the same for the PHR. As I told you, first, you take the columns, you take the achieved score, you put it 75%, you can put it 50% if you want, and you keep adjusting the numbers till it lines up, just like this. So this is how you can get an idea on what percentage you scored on each of these functional areas. So to read this report, for example, on the PHR on the left side, I scored 88% on the business management section that carried 20% of the total exam. Yeah, so I did not score 88% of the total exam. I scored 88% of the 20% portion of the business management section that made up the total exam. So I hope it makes sense. And this is one of the simplest way to interpret your report that you have provided once you've passed. So for those of you who are preparing for the exam, good luck.